Sean, I didn't know you were a Black Hat.
You did not know I was a Black Hat?
No, it's only the third time I see you. Fourth, I don't know. How you doing, man?
Inside joke, I got you.
Yeah, you know, we start light. We are at the end of a long 3-4 days. I don't know how long have you been here for, but
3 days, yeah.
Yeah, so ready to go home with a heart full of cybersecurity insights.
Heart full of cybersecurity insights, head full of dreams. Absolutely, can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah. All right. So you're with F5, and I know you've been meeting a lot of people, a lot of CISOs, as you are behind the scene, in the corridor, at dinner, and meeting them. A lot of people are doing this.
Yes.
And I think that's where the heartbeat of the industry is. So, what have we learned this year here?
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. There's a lot of people here, and it's a great collection of CISOs and cybersecurity-minded individuals, and of course the vendor and solution community that are putting things together for us. And some of the things that I've heard so much about, number one, vulnerabilities, and the flattening of the curve between vulnerability to vulnerability to exposure to exploit, gone. I heard a lot about visibility. So, I can't defend what I don't know, and I heard a lot of complaints about that, and help me understand how to do that. And then I guess like velocity, hey, there's 3 V's. I just did something there.
Yeah, you did.
3 V's, but I didn't mean to. The velocity of it all. I kept saying this and hearing this, that it's an acceleration of cyber for sure, but it's actually more of a physics problem, because the forces and the friction that are happening within none of us. It's unprecedented. None of us have been through that kind of velocity. Everything, Moore's law is out the window. We're advancing, week by week by week, and for a CISO that's trying to make a roadmap and understand what investment looks like for the next 6 to 18 months, everything's pivoting. And so there's a lot of tension and stress around that for the vast community.
Yeah, I like to say in general that change is the only constant.
Yes.
But at this speed, it's a constant of the speed of light.
Yes, right? yes. So, more physics. Thank you very much.
See, I did something there. So if you look back, I mean, you said something like unprecedented and unpredictable in a way. So if you look back in the community, the conversation you were having, thinking, where are we going to be when AI becomes a thing? Could you even imagine it was going to be this speed and this fast?
It wasn't too long ago in relative terms that we were thinking of AI as something that was hyperscaler size, right? That, it's going to be for the big people, it's going to be for the big organizations, the hyperscalers, and we have rapidly brought it down to the generative AI, the agentic AI is at the enterprise level. It is in production. It's not experimental. And I'd go so far as to say we're in an era where it's democratized so much that everybody's building agents and multiple agents, and they're publishing those just like we used to publish software into the organization. And so having the visibility around that and being able to put the guardrails in place that help allow for that innovation, there's just some big challenges that are they're not tomorrow, they're today.
So I want to close with you with something that I discussed with Sean last night on the recap that we did for the day. Uh-huh. And I like to get fantasy, sci-fi. That's my brain goes like that as a writer. And we're talking about agents, like you said, that are very specialized, right? And they are popping up everywhere. But then you need to orchestrate them. And then I started envisioning almost like a Sim City, all made of little agents, and then you get to the point that you got to control it, like with the police force or with rules and regulation, and it becomes like a society of its own.
Right.
Right? But is it a good thing or a bad thing for cybersecurity when people can just create agents and send them rogue? Or is it a big headache that you may have?
It can be both. I think it's certainly not changing the aspect of There are good things to do with innovation, and then of course there are ways to manipulate and do bad things with agents. And when I think of that, what you're describing with the population of agents, I mean, they are identities, they're non-human identities, and they are proliferating, and many of our org charts in organizations have more non-human identities with permissions and responsibilities, just like the employees or the human identities that we govern now. It is going to get to a point where we have the agents working autonomously, working together. I think some of the capabilities that we tell ourselves we're the most afraid of is the agents are trying to please the code. They're trying to please the code maker, and they're relentless in doing so. So they are not going to fail on purpose. They're not going to give up. So we're seeing this with the agents that are escaping from the guardrails that were misconfigured, and they're going out and they're crawling the internet for LLMs and repositories, and we're thinking that's a bad thing, but it's actually a proof positive that the agents are really just trying to do what the programmer told them to do, and they won't stop until they're successful. And I think we just have to keep that in mind and understand that, yeah, there's two sides of the coin. It's going to be good, it's going to be bad, it's going to be both. We just have to concentrate on putting the guardrails in place and having governance over all that, visibility.
Just like real life.
Just like real life, like real life.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
really
Marco.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And everybody stay tuned, because there's still a few more conversation coming from Black Hat 2026. See you soon.